Hey guys, James Hess here. It's been a while since I've really made another face-to-face video. I've just been posting a lot of music lately. It's currently 3:15. I got home about an hour ago. I work late shift quite often now. But you guys may have also noticed I changed my name to James Hess instead of Sword Freak 911. It's a little bit easier to remember and just looks more professional instead of this goofy thing I made up when I was 14. And I thought it would help either future fans find my channel easier or past fans just remember my name easier. On to the main point of the video, I just wanted to talk about two things that have been floating around in my head a little bit lately. Those two things being criticism and ego problems, because they're both pretty relevant things in our lives. So without further ado, I'll start with criticism, and I'll divide that into positive and negative criticism. First off would be positive. How do you define it? What is it? Good criticism, it's analytical, it's helpful, it's well thought out, and it's just there to help you. It's not there to bring you down, and it's not there to nitpick. Say, for example, you're writing a guitar riff, and then your friend comes along and says, "Hey, that sounds like a whole lot like a riff you wrote a month ago or something." And at that point, you're left with two decisions to pick from after you've heard your friend's input. Your first decision, on one hand, would be to rewrite the riff, change it, scrap it, whatever you want to do, improve upon it, or make it different in some way so it doesn't sound like the thing you wrote last month. On the other hand, you can just say, whatever, that's fine, it sounds good to me, that's what I'm going for right now. There is no right or wrong answer to either of these. And frankly, you have to be the one to pick, and sometimes it's a tough decision. Do you want to scrap your work and change it, or do you want to just say, screw it, I like what I'm doing? And I can speak from experience because my mom hears a lot of the stuff I write and play and often says, that sounds a lot like something you played last week or last whenever. And quite often I get to thinking, it does sound pretty similar to something I wrote, or even I might notice it myself and not even have to have input on it. So I criticize myself over it. I'm like, I want to change this, but how? You're getting more into actually processing and analyzing your own music at that point. So that's a talk for another day. Second point, bad criticism, or negative. At this point, it's just a negative opinion, I think. So what's the difference? Negative criticism doesn't have any good input. There's no constructive part of it. It can be analytical because people are just trying to nitpick at you, and most of all, it's not helpful. It's just annoying, and it's really just there to bring you down or just make you, and generally it just makes you not want to do whatever you're doing. Because we've all been to that point where we're trying to do something and we're kind of liking it. Then someone comes in and completely kills it, like, I hate this, I don't like this, and you just get fed up and say, screw it. You scrap whatever you're doing and just move on, and then maybe come back to it later. But that's beside the point. Bad criticism is just that. You can't let it control you. Because you have to be the guy to say, I don't care what you think. Because let's be honest, I'm 20 years old. I'm kind of at that point in my life where I don't really give a hell what people think about a lot of the stuff I do at this point in my life. And, it's nothing bad, really. It's just, how I look, what I wear, all that stuff. Rebellion, I guess you could say. So, you can't let these kinds of things control who you are and what you do and all that stuff. So, just look ahead of it. Don't worry about it. So, on to the next big point of the video, egomaniacs, or people with ego problems. I worked with a lot of them, I've dealt with a lot of them, and 99 to 100% of the time, I hate it. I really cannot stand it, because these people tend to try to put themselves above everybody else, and that's just an automatic thing for them. They don't, sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. And at that point, it just makes you mad. And I'm not even just talking about the music industry. I'm going to college for digital media, graphic design. And, I've met people like that in that field too. They think essentially that their work is better than everyone else's. and there's no arguing that point. And at that point, you just want to go off on these people, and you're like, screw you, blah, 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 whatever. But, the best thing to do that I found is just blow it off, whatever. They're in their own little world. And I found it is extremely difficult to deflate someone's overinflated ego, so to speak. You can't knock down that tower that they have built of themselves so easily. I mean, sometimes you can if you know the right things to say or whatever, but we're not even going to get into that. It's just more of a hassle than it's worth. So, just blow it off, forget about it, leave. Don't even give them your time of day. That's the best way to be about it. Don't even give these idiots the time they think they deserve from you or those other people that they think are lower than them, because honestly they don't deserve it if they think of themselves as being higher up than everyone else. And that kind of goes back to that whole negative criticism thing, because most of the time these people don't give good feedback on stuff. All they do is nitpick and compare their work to yours to say how much better it is and what you should and shouldn't be doing. And there's a time and a place for everything like that. If you're asking your teacher how to do something and they show you how to do something right, that's one thing, but that's positive. Most of the time, they don't have a big attitude about it. Whereas, you talk to some professional in the business, and sometimes they just, they freaking flaunt it whenever they can that they're better than you. And, even if they are or aren't, doesn't really matter. You just be the better person in general. Don't be better than them at what they're talking about. Be the better person. Don't even give them the time of day. That's the best way to be about it. So anyway, that's pretty much all I had for this video. Just a couple of little things have been floating around in my mind lately. I'll probably make future videos ranting about similar stuff, but just figured I'd let you guys know a little bit about what I've been thinking about lately. So there you have it. Criticism and egomaniacs. Don't let any of it bother you. Just move on with your life. Thanks for watching.